So at the top of this moment, we're going to begin with Saint. Saint, you don't remember anything after getting sucked up into your storm. All you know is that you're in a tall, cylindrical room. You're floating probably 20 feet off the ground, spread eagle, looking straight down at the floor.
The power of my god works in mysterious ways, it seems.
Whoosh! A gust of wind blows through and the mist dissipates and you come careening down to the ground.
Oh.
And so just as you are picking yourself up and kind of taking in this room, this large silver dragonborn, he comes careening down and lands right on top of you, knocking you to the ground again. She breaks your fall.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Boom! Fire erupts across the ceiling. It licks across the ceiling. There's bits of brimstone that come raining down. And this little owl figure appears above you, floating. You come careening downwards.
Look out!
At both of them.
Hi!
Hi.
Oh, you're
Hello.
really big.
Oh.
You're really big.
Yes, I've been told.
A elven figure appears.
Uh-oh, something's coming.
And KoKo comes careening down towards all of you. Blinding light.
Oh.
Disco ball light coming from up above. And it's so bright that you actually don't see the figure until it's on top of you. So now you're all laying prone on the floor.
Maybe we should
Yeah.
back up against the wall in case there's any others. Ugh.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Others?
Well, so far it hasn't stopped.
We've all fallen from the sky.
Where are we?
This is probably a blessing from a god.
It doesn't really feel like it, though.
It's very cold.
It's so cold.
It's so cold.
What's your name?
Oh, I'm Ursula. Scratch. You can call me Ursula or Scratch. Well, my name's KoKo.
Hi.
KoKo.
Hi, I'm Octavius, Boxcutter, the first to flee the nest. You could just call me Otto.
I'm Saint.
Wait, so none of you know where we are?
No.
As you look around, there's also these little shelves in this room, and some of the shelves have stuff on them, and some of them are bare.
Can I look at this stuff?
Yes. On two of these little shelves are idols. And by idols, I mean like there's a 1 foot tall stone statue idol of... You both recognize Thasia, the woman, the goddess of storms.
Okay.
She is the goddess that protects this island. This is her home. This is her birthplace. And a lot of people attribute to all of the storms that happen in this area, especially the storms out at sea that keep it almost impossible for ships to come in and leave, to Thasia. And on the little platform right next to that is a wooden ball about 1 foot in diameter. And that wooden ball has hundreds of little carvings. And as you look at the carvings, you can immediately make out an owl carving, and a bear carving, and a wolf, and a chipmunk. And that's when you realize that it's a wood ball that's covered in little animal carvings. Katie, or Ursula, you recognize the wooden ball as being an idol to Bahatha. Bahatha is the god of animals and of the animus. The animus is the energy that turns natural animals into people.
This must be a good place. If there's an idol to Thasia and to Bahatha.
Let's steal them. Take them.
There is an opening that leads to some steps that go down, and you walk over, and as you look down those steps, it's dark. And in fact, the room that you are in is barely lit by a tiny little skylight that's letting in a little bit of sunlight, which, because you're in this icy room, sort of bounces around and gives it a soft glow.
Maybe we should move out.
Yes.
Stairs.
Stairs.
Owlboy, can you see in the dark?
Perfectly in the dark, sir.
I see pretty well in the dark.
Not.
I cannot.
Okay, let's hold hands.
Well, I have a light.
That's fine.
Oh,
I have a light, and she casts light
Oh
on
wait,
her
do I have a
shield.
torch?
Okay.
It says I have a torch.
You do have a torch.
She
Does that mean I can just, like-
light up a
And thank you so much for looking in your pack because you discover
What is
a
that?
jar of worms.
What is that?
You have a choice. Do you want extra dirty worms or regular dirty worms?
Extra dirty.
I mean, extra dirty.
Okay.
Yeah.
These can go over here.
Props.
There's soft, rich, tilled, rich, like almost like potting soil, and it's filled with worms. So she reaches into her pack for a torch and then pulls out this jar instead, pops it open, and there's little wiggling worms in it, and she tastes the dirt.
What do you got there?
You know, Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you like to taste this?
Are those worms? I love worms.
Okay, I can always kind of get a sense for what's going on when
was
I
going
can
for
like
it.
taste
I
the
would
dirt.
All of you that eat the worms have a sense of like mental fortitude. Like you feel like you can accomplish anything you set out to do.
Yeah.
I think if a god brought us here, then we are here for a reason.
Yes, I would like to leave. Can we leave now, please?
Okay.
Even though you're used to ducking down because of your size, you can tell by the archway. Yeah, both of you. It's going to be great for your guys' postures. You don't have to duck down for this
Method
archway.
actors.
You don't have to.
They don't
You
have to.
Instinctually, I still do.
The hall
Is it very tall?
is tall, it's big, and it's built for someone
Ooh.
4 times your size. You see a pile of furs, and just as you get to the fur, the fur begins to move, raises 2 massive blue claws.
Oh no.
And lets out a horrific.
I think that KoKo would lunge for the knees.
Sure.
Yeah. And grab her 2 short swords.
Yes.
And then, but at the same time, yell to Saint to try and blind the Yeti.
Sure. So you slice up this thing's rear left hindquarters, and it roars in pain, and that unleashes its primal power of ice.
That's so much cool stuff they could do.
14. Does that hit you?
It hits.
It does? Oh. 10
You're right.
points
From the thing
of slashing damage.
Oh
And another 5 points of cold.
Okay.
my god!
And it hits you hard enough to where it knocks you back.
Otto staggers back, thinking about their training that they've had, and whips out their crossbow and aims it at the Yeti's chest, trying to do a heart strike. I use my bonus action to hide.
Val draws his rapier and but with a kind of a very nice duelist's flourish, basically lunges right for its chest.
Okay.
Basically trying to make that hole in its chest bigger.
It is bloodied, wheezing, starting to collapse.
Can I cast Spiritual Weapon, which is a flock of sparrows, and hold my shield up and try to aim the beam into the Yeti's eyes?
So
Hey, over here.
it seems to want to face off with you, but it also has people in its way. Go ahead and roll your attack for your bonus action of striking the stalactite.
2 + 3.
Oh, that's 5. So you break up the stalagmite. It cracks. You don't think it's going to fall at first, but then we're going to say one more sparrow just kind of pecks it. And it snaps off and it comes careening down. And the Yeti is just about ready to eviscerate Val when this thing crashes down on top of its head, splitting part of its head open and cracking one of its horns. Its eyes roll up in the back of its head, and it falls unconscious, which unlocks a Force of Nature card.
So is this the next level?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeti dung discovered. Is it a giant, gross, disgusting, smelly pile of Yeti poop? Yes. Is it also very effective fuel for a fire or repelling unwanted predatory animals? Also, yes. Just somebody mark down that there's 3 uses of Yeti dung.
Oh,
and
okay.
when you want to use it, it's a DC 12
I like
survival. Never have you heard of a Yeti getting this big, this strong, and with the red eyes and the double set of horns, it strikes you as being almost like an abomination in some way.
Okay.
You look over and you'll see that Ursula is like rubbing up against the Yeti.
You want to smell like the animal that you're trying to impersonate.
Right.
It's a really great idea.
KoKo starts rubbing.
So everyone's rubbing themselves against the Yeti?
This Yeti.
Yeah.
Okay.
You really gotta get in there.
You can see frozen in a block of ice a frost giant. Its eyes are closed, and it's holding this staff, completely frozen in a block of ice. Right next to it is a massive cave bear, also frozen in ice, in this fierce, almost like aggressive, angry pose.
Okay.
You also see a narrow bridge of ice, and as you glance around in this room, everything is starting to melt. You see water dripping down from the ceiling along the walls, and it's all flowing and collecting into this little underground, not underground, but lower elevation crack or fissure in the ground. Mm-hmm. You see a huge female frost giant completely frozen in a block of ice, wearing thick, ornate fur robes. At the base of this platform that she's resting on is this massive alien-looking blue cat, just like you see here.
It's time to run.
I think we need to
and
move.
I'm bolting.
Part of the wall breaks away, and another part of this pillar breaks away, and 2 large ice elementals come into the room and immediately start making their way towards you, and they seem angry. Up in the ceiling, there's these little ice devils.
Oh, little flying friends.
Yeah,
Got it.
that are clinging to the ceiling, and when you start to run across and the elementals wake up, they come to life as well and wake up, and they screech and chitter and start to crawl across the ceiling, and you see their wings unfurl and start to flap.
I would like to grab a chunk of snow and mage hand it so it looks like that guy threw the snowball at that guy.
Sure. You hurl it over there and it smacks into it, and it was clearly looking at you. Mm-hmm. So when this snow ice ball strikes it, it's hard to read an elemental's face, but it turns towards that direction like who threw that? Like that moment in class where it's like, who just did that? Yeah. And it's just trying to discern that right now.
I'm gonna kind of cozy up to this side of the bridge, and then pull one of these Yeti dung out of my my thing.
You're just throwing the poop. You're not trying to do anything special with it? Are you trying to throw it so that it does something specific?
Yeah, I want to get right in its eyes. So it stings.
To blind it.
Yeah.
You splatter this ice elemental with the dung.
I've warmed it up in my hand as I was running. I want to make that so it's going to splatter and not be frozen.
It is immune to so many different effects, but it is not immune to being blinded.
Oh!
So I'm going to say, until it removes the dung from its face, it is temporarily blind.
It was a big piece, so it probably got in its nose a little too.
I'd like to draw my bow, do an ensnaring strike.
Yeah, sure. The vines wrap up around the elemental, and you can see it start to struggle with it, and then it just rips one shoulder free and rips another shoulder free and continues to try to get the dung off of its face.
I'd like to get to the other side of the thing, but I don't think I can make it.
Rich?
Your
You do not want
acrobatics.
to fail this roll.
Come on, don't fail this.
There you go.
Oh no, what was it? What did you
She
roll?
leaps across, lands on the edge, thinks she makes it, and then she does that, and she falls backwards into the water. The water is not as deep as you are expecting it to be. You actually feel this surface below you, but as you are like putting your arm and your leg down, the surface that the water is resting on starts to crack and break through. And you can actually see the water draining into a deeper crevasse, a deeper level.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going to take the elemental's turn. This elemental is going to take its action to smear the poop away from its face so it can see. It rages, shatters this ice, does damage to everything around it, and then looks up and sees this method and shakes its fist at it. And that's going to be the end of our show.